And we are live. Welcome to the Political Orphans, the bold new voice of independent media where left meets right, powered by you, our commenters. My name is Nico Hagen, and I am a conservative. To my left, my co-host, Rob Ambrose, a liberal. Our goal is simple: challenge the narrative, reject political biases, and tackle topics that mainstream media won't touch. But above all, we want to create a space where people who disagree can have a civil conversation about the problems that we're all facing together. Now, if it's the first time listening to the show, yes, we do go for 2 hours. So if you're looking for a specific topic, just look at the bottom of the screen, and everything's going to be chopped down per topic, so you can find what you're looking for. But I highly suggest you stick around, because the reason we record for so long is that we take a lot of your comments. So if you want to have your voice heard, join us noon Eastern, Monday to Friday. That being said, today's top story of the day: Israel finally, that's going to be interesting, but Israel approves plan to take over Gaza City. Pierre Poilievre finally addresses immigration. Canada's lost more than 40,000 jobs in the month of July, the largest decline since the lockdowns. Carney reaffirms that indigenous are going to be at the core of the Building Canada Act. Pierre Poilievre is speaking about something called Canadian Sovereignty Act. And finally, we're going to speak about a story that I need to cover. Gina Carano comes to an agreement with Disney over the Mandalorian firing. Get your comments ready, because the show starts now. What's going on, man?
What's happening, brother? Out here in Nova Scotia, trying not to get a fine for being out in the backyard, but other than that, yeah, trying to dodge the finers. But yeah, other than that, things are going well. Beautiful weather. How's things going up in Montreal?
It's grayish and humid as shit.
Yeah, it's like that.
Humid as old balls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is not. It's not pleasant.
No.
Not pleasant at all. But hey, I'll take this over winter any day of the fucking week.
Absolutely. How's the baby, the new baby going?
Is it okay to say that he's annoying?
Oh yeah, of course. This idea that
God
damn, babies, like, no, you can love them and still want to fucking
yes.
You know what?
She's right there, right? My wife.
I'll say this. Fuck. I'll say this, and I'll put out the disclaimer. It is never okay to shake a baby, and you should never ever do that. But once I had a kid, I got it. You know what I mean? I understood why some people just fucking snap. And I mean, just for like a PSA, if you do feel that way, that's when you step away. But it is not easy at all. Babies are not easy. And there's, I know people like to pretend it's all magical, and it is in some ways, but it's also fucking hard. And that's fine too.
You know,
it gets easier, put it that way.
I don't know what's happening to him, but over the past 3 to 4 days, we cannot put him down. We can't. If we put him down, he starts crying. The only way he's gonna stop is that you have to pick him up and you have to take him. You have to, like I think this morning I was trying to work and I probably had him in my arms for at least 2 hours. Like I get up at 3:30 to feed him, 3:20 to feed him at 3:30. Takes about half an hour to feed him. Then an hour, just me holding him so that he can go back to sleep. By the time he falls asleep, I'm an hour away of fucking feeding him again. I have to figure out the schedule. I haven't figured out that fucking schedule yet, but I don't know what's going on with him. But you cannot put him down right now. If you put him down, he could go. You could literally drop him on the floor. He's not going to wake up. But if you dare put him down consciously in his crib, that's it. Yeah. He's going to wake up and start screaming at the top of his lungs. Yeah.
You're done. You are done, brother. Yeah, there's it's just babies being babies, man. There's no it's just how they roll. And it is it's just
it is what it is.
It is what it is. It does get better. I mean, I know if you ever do get that feeling like it's always best to take a step away. You know,
but I have that feeling about a lot of people. And so I've learned a long time ago to not act what's going on in my head. I have a lot more self-control than that. But if you knew what's gone through my mind already in the last month,
the idea
shaking it is not what came to my mind. I'm just gonna say it. My wife is right there, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, what the fuck? No, I think it's normal to have that immediate feeling. Of course, you know, obviously you have enough presence of mind to recognize it and be like, yeah, I should probably take a step away. But that's completely normal. I don't know. Any parent who says they never wanted to just for a split second just shake the shit out of that baby, I don't. What are you doing? Why won't you stop screaming?
It's it's definitely interesting. I'm happy that I'm a lot more patient now. Prior to having that baby, it's a good thing I wasn't 20. That would have been harder.
Yeah, absolutely.
Angry Canadian seems to say that he was
shaken baby survival.
yeah, that makes sense. That explains a lot, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot. Pam, good Friday to you as well.
Happy Friday to you, Pam.
See you. Don't remember ever seeing you before, but totally normal. Yeah, well,
hopefully stick around. I have no idea if this is a guy or girl. Normally you can kind of have a guess, but I'm either way.
I don't know, man.
But
I don't know.
I'll call you bro anyways until I know it's different. But
Bumpy is saying, wait for the witching hour. What the fuck is the witching hour?
That doesn't sound good.
What? No, I don't like it. Or unless it's like the video game, Witcher. That's okay. My boy's gonna start fighting some weird shit.
Oh, I got a feeling like it's not like that though.
You know,
not what he means.
I'm gonna have to check what. No, my wife is shaking her head right there, witching hour.
As long as she's shaking her head. As long as she's shaking her head.
As in, it's not about Witcher. It's not about Witcher.
Yeah, as long as she's shaking her head, but not the baby.
It refers to a time of night, often midnight or 3 a.m., when supernatural being like witches, ghosts, and demons are believed to be at their most powerful. So I guess the entity you're talking about is my kid, but to me it's not a big deal because I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning no matter what, so that one's not a hard deal for me. But goddamn. Pam is saying, I feel for you. Nico went through similar. I think every parents do. It's just most parents don't have the balls to admit that the things that goes through their minds.
It's like how every parent is like, oh, he's the most beautiful baby. It's
no,
like,
he's not.
No, bro.
Nope.
Sometimes he's got an ugly baby. You know what I mean? And that has nothing to do with, because babies don't even look like humans, man. They don't look like adults. Imagine if you had a 5'10" adult that looked exactly like a baby. Like that, we'd all be like, this is creepy as shit. They grow into humans. A lot of babies are ugly as shit, and that's perfectly fine. You still love them when they're yours.
There's a great video. It's a shame it's in French, but it's French from France, and it's just two couples sitting at a table, and one of them just got a baby. She just gave birth, and they're showing pictures, and of course the two parents are all proud of their baby, how beautiful that baby is, and then you have the other couple, which the girlfriend's like, oh, he's so pretty, and then the guy's just sitting there. He's not saying anything.
Yeah.
So the two parents notice, and they're like, so what do you think of our baby? He's like, yeah, no, thank you. I'm not answering that question.
I'm not going down that road.
No.
It's a trap. That's a trap.
And then it just escalates, and the mother is just, tell me my baby is beautiful.
Do you remember
he's like, yeah, no, but it's French. Like, it's not
translated. Do you remember the Seinfeld episode? I think it was several episodes where you gotta see the baby, Jerry. You gotta see the baby. And they go and see, it's like, that is one ugly baby. Kramer sees, whoa.
Yes. You know, it happened to me the other day, and I'm like, I say that I've been saying that to my wife forever, that yes, there are babies that are ugly. And she's like, oh no, they're babies.
Okay.
I'm like, yeah, no, he's ugly.
Fucking hideous, man. They're babies.
Yeah, they're ugly. There's some that are a lot prettier than others.
Yeah, of course, and that's fine. And no one, like, they all grow up to look completely different. And it's not like we're talking about, like, you know, like that. Usually, I've seen some hideous babies. I used to date this girl that was like way out of my league.
I used to date this hideous baby.
No, I used to date a girl who was way out of my league. I don't know what she was doing. It took her a little while to realize, but her baby pictures, like, this was a hideous child.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with it, what you're gonna grow up and look like. Joe Stradamus, You're describing JD Vance, Rob. Yeah, he kind of does, right? He kind of has that adult baby look to him.
There's a lot of those, like they have dough faces. Like they're normally very pudgy.
Yeah. Just
they
very
have a
round.
Oh yeah.
Moon face.
Yeah, doughy looking people.
Yeah.
But man, it is there's some ugly baby out there. And yes, I have no shame in saying that some babies are fucking ugly.
I mean, I wouldn't tell a mother that her baby's hideous, but like,
don't ask me. Don't ask.
We all.
That's why I really resonate with that video, like this the comedic skit, because the guy's like, nope, don't ask.
Nope.
It's like, tell me that my baby's beautiful. He's like, ask. Yeah, no, your baby's ugly.
Yeah. Guys,
don't ask.
Yeah. Don't ask, don't tell. Don't ask a question you don't want to know the answer to. Guys, just if you're just tuning in, if you watched yesterday's show and you enjoyed what we had with Jeff there.
Good man.
Big news here. Jeff is going to become a regular part of the show. He's going to show up here on Wednesdays. Is it correct? Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and unlike
week,
unlike other times when he's kind of come on and to talk about a specific topic, he's basically going to do what he did for the last half of the show yesterday, and just be on the show. The topics we discuss, instead of just me and Nico giving our take and going to questions, all three of us will give our takes and go to questions. But we had a really good time. We thought he had a really good time. The synergy was good, and ideologically, he seemed to slot pretty nicely right in between me and Nico. So
that's what's interesting.
Yeah,
that's what's very interesting. It's very, very interesting that he's more left than me, but more right than you.
Yeah,
very interesting.
Yeah.
It's like the evolution. It's like the evolution.
Yeah, he's the evolved model. Where's this the primitive?
No, he's your evolved model. I'm his. That's what I was insinuating.
Oh, I see. Yes. The
evolution.
I'm like the shriveled up like monkey man.
You're like the ugly baby.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You're just the ugly baby, and I'm the swan, bitch.
Yeah, the beautiful swan. I'm the ugly duckling.
Again, my wife is normally upstairs. Now she's just staring at me over my screen like, what the fuck is wrong with
her head. Yeah, she's looking up the number for Child Protective Services. Yeah, I got my husband called our baby. He said he wanted to shake our baby.
No, I think she's looking for the receipt. For my receipt.
Oh yeah. Bring it back to the store.
Fuck do I bring?
Yeah, no refunds. Sorry, bro. All sales final on that one.
Oh shit. Well, hello, Robin.
Robin, yeah, we haven't seen you for a while.
What is going on, Robin? What's going on? What is going on? Hey, orphans, I'm back from off the grid vacation. I'll be playing political catch up. Well, you're welcome.
We haven't missed too much. This is an interesting comment from Joe.
Yeah, I was just going to.
Nico's actually in the middle of that equation. Jeff is about 78 degrees to the right of Nico. I don't know. I still see Jeff in the middle, but I can understand. Certainly, there's some positions that might. I can understand where we go with that. At the end of the day, again, like, we use the labels left, right, center because they still have some value, but especially on this show, they're not certainly they're not set in stone. So there are.
But the reason I say that, Joe, though, is because there's a lot of things I don't speak about on this show. I'm very careful to not go too far to the right because I'm a lot more conservative than what I talk about on this show. It's just I'm able to have conversations with people where it's not an issue, even though I don't see eye to eye with them. I just know the topics I can't approach. I just know. And it's the same thing for this show. I know where I can and cannot go. But yeah, you're talking about a history. You're talking about a history which
Jews instilling the virtues of colonization, slavery. I certainly don't think he was talking about the virtues of slavery. He was saying that despite
it's a fact.
The fact that the Western world gets all this heat for slavery, it's undoubtedly the UK and America who ended slavery. And so every empire and society has up until those points have been involved in slavery. So he was just pointing out the hypocrisy. And also, look, there are some virtues of colonization. It is undoubtedly that many places that were colonized, while there were absolutely shitty things that were done, it absolutely benefited them as well. I mean, India, their entire legal system of government, infrastructure was built by the British. They would not be where they are right now without the colonization. That's not to say it's okay. It's not to say it's a good thing. It's to say that it's a nuanced and complex topic. And it is not as simple as saying colonization was always bad. And we were also talking about the hypocrisy of the people who do say colonization is always bad.
That's what we're
They
talking
never
about.
discuss the colonization of anywhere
No.
else but the West. The Arab world is in immense colonizers. Every single Arab who lives outside of present-day Saudi Arabia is a descendant of colonizers. And it's very interesting how they never, ever get any heat from the people who are anti-colonization.
India should be grateful for the UK, because if it wasn't for them, they wouldn't be living in Canada.
No, well, yeah,
It's
exactly.
no, but that's a joke. Come on, that's a joke. That was just a joke.
Too.
Just a joke. Just a
Well,
joke. But
I mean,
but the point in the matter is, it's the hypocrisy. That's all Jeff was talking about yesterday, and that's all I can go back to, is that there's a big hypocrisy going on. Like slavery is something that we, the white man, started. At the end of the day, we would have never had any black slaves here if it wasn't for the fact that Africans were selling Africans. We were not the ones going to go. So the point in the matter is, you look through history, we've always had.
Yeah, it's just if you have a scenario where 500 years ago, every single country in the world was doing a certain thing, it's not really accurate to just shit on the one culture that you hate and give all the others a pass. It's not to say slavery was okay. It's to say we do have to be honest here about how we discuss it.
And again, this is how Joe and I can agree on things.
Yeah,
is just
100%.
to say hypocrisy is unacceptable, no matter where it comes from. And that, again, that's why you keep on coming back, and that's why I always enjoy our conversation, even when you're wrong. It's just very enjoyable. No, but it's at the end of the day, you can't start any type of conversation if hypocrisy can never be labeled on everything.
That's right. The fact of the matter is, Jeff has strong opinions on a lot of things. He's articulate. He explained himself well. And there are going to be things we all disagree with him on, and vice versa. But I think that's going to add a whole layer of quality to the show.
We'll see.
Because he fits in with a lot of what we're trying to do. No one's trying to have an echo chamber here. We don't want to be screaming at each other, but it is nice to bring. At the end of the day, like first and foremost, Jeff will show his work. We might not agree with him, but he'll tell us how he got there, and I can work with that all day.
One of the things that I would like to go, we can end on this since that has nothing to do with the show, like the show today, but one of the things that I've always wanted to do with this show is to bring people to debate. That's another thing I'd like to do, to be able to organize debates where people with two completely opposite views can show up and show their work. And we just handle it like it's an interview, but you just play the mediator. You have them, you ask questions and you have them go. And one of the guys, Jeff, would be great at that. Like on one side of the equation, no matter if it's on slavery, for example, it'd be a great place because he is extremely researched. So
just before we do get into the topic, I just want to take this one last comment from Bumpy. So Bumpy says the issue is the anti-colonialist critics from the Western world, and they are criticizing where they're from. They're analyzing the past of their homes, part of trying to reconcile the sins. I mean, I'm sure some of them are doing that, and we can agree to disagree here, but my perception of many of them is just about self-hatred. It's just hate of the West. They're using that as a cudgel, as a tool to attack the West, but they don't actually care about the issue, and they refuse to criticize anybody else. They will absolutely act like the West is uniquely bad, uniquely evil because of this, and that's just not true. I'm all for criticizing yourself and where you're from. We also have to make a distinction between the past and the present. Nobody alive today held slaves, at least in the West, and we are not guilty. We do not. I reject the notion that we share the guilt of our forefathers. We do not. If you believe in individualism, and you cannot, I do not believe that if my father commits a murder, I should be punished and sent to jail for the rest of my life. If you also don't believe in that, then you have to be opposed to the way the left treats this issue, because it's exactly how they treat it.
One thing, one thing I wanted to say that was interesting, because this morning, when was it? Yesterday, I posted a 2-minute video of a part of the interview I did with John Carpe about Sean Foyt, right? So I just did like a 2-minute video pointing to the YouTube channel. Guess who reshared it this morning? Yeah. Sean Foyt. Kind of cool. Huh?
Oh no shit. No.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, I like when those things. I like when those things happen.
Yeah. I'd like to have him on. I think it'd be cool conversation. I have a pretty good sense of like. You remember when we had the pastor on, the Derek, a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
And you could tell he had his agenda and he was pushing it.
Yeah.
I got a feeling it'll be something like that. But as long as like I don't have an issue with that, as long as
we all have an agenda, right?
Yeah, we all have an agenda. Exactly. It's, you know, I'd rather you just put it out there and not try to hide it, and just let me make my assessments based on.
Let me show something before we go. I actually saw that this morning, and I just reshared it on X because it's too fucking funny. But this aligns exactly with what we talk about all the time. And supposedly that there's the first annual hike for Palestine that's going to take place in Nova Scotia, just so you guys know.
Well, and
I thought that was funny.
Is they actually,
but you know
and they wouldn't get fined.
I requoted it, and all I said is like, oh, I guess this is the new George Floyd.
Yeah. It would actually be pretty because
they get away with it.
That's what I mean. It's funny. We're laughing, but the fact of the matter is they almost certainly would. There is an exception, a Free Palestine exception for the law right now, it seems. And speaking of hypocrisy, that is why people like myself who are not Christian, I'm not Christian, I'm an atheist, I don't particularly care, but I still am offended by this double standard, this hypocrisy.
I'm just happy
I got to plug my computer in.
I guess I'm just happy that they're walking. Let's take it from there. Hold on. Is there another comment? So Therese seems to agree that it would be a good idea to have debates. Yeah, that's the next thing. It's hard. It's hard to find organizing debates is a lot harder than people think. You need to find two people, opposite views on the same issue, but they need to be well spoken. They need to know that they need to be able to prove their work, but they also need to be good on camera, which is another thing that is not easy to do. It is not easy to find people to debate. Fuck, it's not easy. Yeah, it was a joke, Angry Canadian.
Well, no, because
hike for Palestine,
it's hard.
Calling all bears to the area.
Calling all bears.
No, but it's okay because most of those women would rather be in the woods with bears, right? Remember, they would take bears over man.
What is hard to do?
What's hard to do?
What's hard to do is find someone to debate. I'm saying find someone who debate in good faith, who is genuinely just trying to get it right, who's not going to use rhetorical tricks and weapons to attack you. Like if you're making a genuinely legitimate good faith point about immigration and it has nothing to do with race, it's about infrastructure or the levels of immigration, and someone just shuts you down and calls you racist, that's bad faith. It's hard to find someone to good faith debate, but again, this is what this show is about, is creating that space.
Yeah, but I would be okay with that. I would be okay with somebody from the left doing that, because I could find a conservative or somebody that's on the other side of the issue that would be able to destroy that argument. So the thing is, I don't have a problem with that. It's hard to find people that will stay polite when people disagree with them. This is the hardest thing to do.
It gets personal. I feel it, right? Everyone feels it. It's like you almost get where you want to lash out, but you have to control yourself. And it's one thing, like I think when we do interviews, you can see the other person, they're a human being. It's a little easier. I mean, I catch myself doing it on the internet where you're tweeting, it almost feels like you're not even talking to a real person. So you say some kind of mean things that you might not normally. Yep. And I catch myself doing that. So, I mean, I'll own that as well. But again, that's what the show is attempting to do. Bumpy says, bring on Dean Blundell to debate. I would love to have Dean Blundell.
I don't know who that guy is.
He's kind of a lefty talking head. I suspect I mean, if you know him or so, whatever, reach out. I mean, just since you brought it up, I'll reach out. I've got a fairly large following. Maybe he'll come on.
Official Twitter account of Dean Blundell, Canadian muckraker. What the fuck is a muckraker?
I don't know. Like shit disturber, maybe?
Is that his haircut? Because I could imagine raking shit with his haircut.
No. He used to be like what was he? A radio host or something, and now I think he's got podcast.
Yeah, something like that. 5-time bird attack survivor.
Now we'd have to have an issue or two or a story or two, because we don't just bring people on just okay, let's debate things. Like usually there would be an issue and then a debate might come out of it. I think he's pretty far left. I mean, I'll have anyone on the show. I love.
Yeah,
I enjoy.
I don't think he's gonna come on the show because he's already have me blocked. So.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at his stuff. It says, "It's Dean Blundell has blocked you." So
he's certainly one of those like professional political discourse guys that I would be very surprised if he would even have the ability to come on and be a good faith debater. I think he would just sort of revert to the same old linguistic tricks or insults or call you whatever the ism or phobia is. But it'd be worth a shot. Sometimes, like I feel like this show has the ability to change people. Once you come on and we sort of explain, like, no, we don't really do things like that here. They might, we've certainly had some commenters who come in a little hot in the comments, and then we say, yeah, it doesn't really work like that here, and then they often sometimes stick around because we're all trained to act like that on the internet. I do it too, man, and it's not productive. It doesn't help. You never get to it.
Most of those guys, I can tell you from experience, because I've reached out to a bunch of those guys, they don't have the balls to do it. I wish they did, but they don't.
A lot of them know it's their job, right? I don't even know if they actually believe any of it.
Like
they just know.
I'm just looking. I'm just looking at something he posted about Sean Foyt, and love the guy, hate what he stands for. You can't tell me that Canada has not become anti-Christian. Like, you can't tell me.
No, it's
come on.
That's factual. That's factual.
But it's just interesting how he banned in 6 cities, faked a firebomb in Montreal. Do you really think he cares about this shit?
He didn't fake a firebomb, did he?
But of course not. But that's what he's saying. It's just that, and the fact that he blocked me on X of all places, where I literally have no audience. Yeah, that's very, very fucking interesting. Because I have no clue who this guy is.
Joe Stradamus says, I kind of see this place as not so much a place for debate, one of the few places we can find common ground. And that's a great comment, Joe. I mean, we use the word debate in this, as we're discussing this, but very rarely do we actually have what you would call a real debate.
A civil discourse between two people that are 100% against each other. At least when it comes to, I went to San Francisco to debate someone, to have a conversation with someone that I completely disagree that should have children, right? Mm-hmm. By the end, we went to have a drink, her and I. Just so you know, by the end, her and I went out. She had a drink. I didn't drink. I was still fasting. It's not true that I'm breaking a fast with alcohol after being fasting for 24 hours, but all to say that we went to have a drink afterwards. She asked for my email and she sent me some studies that she says I should read. So we'll see what happens with that. But all to say that there's still a way. No, bro. No, hell no. Fuck no. There's a way to still be able to be blunt, have a conversation with someone that you disagree with, but show your work. And like I said, by the end, we had a drink. It started by her wanting to murder me. Yeah. And by the end, she wanted to have a drink. So say that if she can do that, if I'm able, there's other people like me that can say what they mean, still be respectful, and look for that civil discourse. Prove me wrong. That's why she sent me some studies, because I said those studies didn't exist. So she sent them to me. I'm going to see. And if they make sense, I'll fucking show them. I highly doubt that they're good studies. Like, I highly fucking doubt it. Yeah. But I'm still going to look. I'll still take the time to look into them.
Well, I mean, and that's a good example, kind of what we're saying. Like, we're all, to a certain extent, if you spend any time talking about politics and culture on the internet, we're all trained to act a certain way where we just lash out. And what Joe said about finding common ground, that's exactly correct. Because anybody who's like not completely insane, if you at least have some common sense, and you're in good faith, and you're generally trying to solve a problem and not just win a culture war battle, once you get together, you will find common ground somewhere, and oftentimes that's at the foundation of the issue. One thing we often will comment on is how we really might disagree is how to solve a problem, and that's a fair and healthy debate and discussion. But when you agree, we'll often agree that there is a problem. At the end of the day, if you can't agree that there is a problem, then you can no need to waste anyone's time. Let's just agree to disagree, because if you can't even agree there is a problem, there's no even point in having a discussion or debate.
Like I'm still on his page and just scrolling through because that guy posts a shit ton. And
Who, Blundell?
Yeah. And
yeah, no, he's like a professional kind of
up to now, but he doesn't say much. Like it's not intelligent rambling.
No.
At least
it's social media slop. It's X slop.
Okay,
right?
So that's what it is, right? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because that's what X has created. Because you can't do that on Instagram, for example.
And he very well might be an intelligent guy, but you're right. X rewards that stuff. So
But that's not what I mean. Is that you're capable. We just got the opportunity to reshare like 2 days ago, to reshare somebody's post without having to create content. Like I've posted probably 3,500 times on X in the past few years. It's all original content. I all had to work. I can't just repost somebody, say, "Are you serious?" Question mark,
that's all
and then make 100,000 views on it. You can't do that. And all of the stuff that he posts is basically that. It's
the algorithm really should be tweaked to get, like, they can fix it so that quality rises to the top, but they choose not to.
Yeah. But it's fine. It is. You know what works? It's the old Twitter at the end of the day. But it's every single thing he talks about is not very intelligent. Like I haven't seen one intelligent post up to now.
Joe says, I would rather lose an argument to a smarter person than have 10 dumb people agree with me. Yeah,
Amen, brother.
I agree with that, Joe. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to check your ego at the door a little bit. I have for me, I just want to get it right. I have the ultimate respect for the truth. And I might be wrong, and I am wrong on a lot of things, but I at least, the things I'm wrong about, I at least can show how I got there, and you can at least see my thought process.
But as I'm going through Dean Blundell's page there, all I'm going to say is that I can see people on the right that do the exact same thing. Like I'm just looking at what he talks about. There's so many Canadian content creators that are conservative that do the exact same fucking thing. All they talk about is against the right, against the left. Sorry. It's just the same way. All he does is against the left. There's never a middle ground. No.
Dean Blundell is a great example of exactly the kind of internet culture that this show is trying to get away from. Like there's a million Dean Blundells out there. There's not that many shows like this. And that's why when people come in here and act like that, we're like, look, man, the rest of the internet is for you if that's your thing. But this is a little we do things a little bit different here.
I just like guys like him that calls other people names. And he's a tall twig that, in real life, he'd call you sir and probably not even look at you in the eyes. Like the way I am online, the way I am right now is the way I am in person. There's no fucking difference outside that. I'm probably even worse in person or else if I could be myself online, it'd be a bit more, but I get in trouble like I always fucking do. But all to say that I don't think this is the type of guy that I would ever have.
I'd have him on the show if he wants to be, but just because he's got a big following and it would probably be good for the show. But I don't think it would be like an interesting and intelligent conversation. I think it would be him like shouting down slogans and stuff. Leah says, my sister called into question my mental stability as I tried to show her how dangerous Carney is, then set the liminal thinking video last week. She refused to look into it. I mean, look, there's people like this on both sides, but it does seem to me that in this moment, at least, the people on the left seem highly intolerant of people on the right in a way that's not necessarily reciprocated. I think people on the right think lefties are stupid, retarded, but they don't think they're like, they won't not talk to them. They don't think they're evil. But many on the left, I think their default is that theirs is the moral position. And if you don't agree with them, then you are by definition immoral. And that's not, for me, that's one of the things that I see. And I'm like, that's not, these guys are not right. Like anyone who thinks like that is probably on the wrong side.
Yeah. The thing is I think that the reason conservative will have those conversations with liberals, at least in the time that we're speaking about right now, is because we've been shut down so much over the past 10 years that we don't have a choice. Like we haven't been, like you look in Canada, like it's switching right now in the US.
Yeah.
But in Canada, I don't have a choice to have a conversation with people because they're going to shut me down from the get-go. I don't have the power. I don't have the power to shut people down. Even conservatives now shut me down because I don't agree that they're conservative. I just say that Pierre Poilievre's a leftist. And that pisses them off to no level. And I'm like, there's a good reason he didn't fucking win his election. Like, don't give me this shit. But even so, it's not a left versus right or a left or a right way of thinking. It's just that right now, as we speak, the left has had the power for so long that they do not, they can shut down the conversation by just calling me racist. And there's nothing much I can do about it.
No, there isn't.
Because I don't have the ears or the power that they do.
Culturally, the culture has been left-wing coded for the last at least 20 years, for sure. And so it's many people on the left have gotten in their heads that their positions are the norm. Theirs is the default morality. And of course, that's not true. You know, I think, but and you know, as we talked a lot in the show, this shift in culture, now things are starting to go the other way. And you're seeing many on the left start to sort of freak out a little bit about it. But you know what's really causing the shift is not, I don't believe that people are becoming necessarily more right-wing. It's that common sense lefties and liberals like myself are leaving the political left. We might not be going to the right, but we're not really supporting that anymore. And so the right is still staying the same size, but it's gaining power because the left is becoming smaller. That's my take on it, at least.
Yeah, I think you might have a point. But it's not really changing in Canada, though. Obviously, it's not really changing.
I think it is, but I think smaller, slower, and not as obvious.
Even if you look at content creators, like just look at content creators, people that have shows, even what you see on TV, even what you see on the radio, a very small percentage of conservatives are on TV that is not independent. There's no conservative on TV like CBC, for example. It's not happening.
No.
So that's what I'm saying. So even in media, the only right, and by right I say I'm air quoting here, is not present at all. You have to be a leftist in Canada in order to have airtime that is not on social media. And even on social media, obviously Facebook and Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, extremely leftist. X is the only place that I would argue that it's a 50-50 split.
Seems
between
like
the two.
More or less.
No, but that's what if you look at the studies, that's what they show, that people on X are right down the middle. So it looks like they do allow for the discourse, but it is the less censored one of all the media platform out there. That's for damn sure.
For sure. Final comment, and then we'll get into it. Joe says the left is being intentionally sabotaged by the ownership class. I don't know, Joe. Like, I definitely agree with a lot of your takes on sort of the class wars and stuff. I think it's the activist class of the left. I understand the ownership class in the left is going along with it, and that's probably what's really causing the true damage, because the activist class has always been crazy. It's just they haven't really been taken seriously that much by the establishment of the political left, except now over the last 10 to 15 years, the ownership class on the left, the establishment, is taking them seriously, not because they have any principles or values of their own. They just want to see what wind is blowing. They made the calculation that the activist far left was the way to go, and that's why you can see the corporate world, marketing departments have been taken over by this stuff over the last 10 to 15 years, because they thought that was the future, and it turns out it's not. But I believe the driving force is the activist class. You've given the inmates the keys to the asylum.
Yeah, well, yeah. When you have the patients running the asylum, that's exactly what happens. I think Bumpy's trying to be an asshole here. I'm interested to hear Nico pronounce butt rest. So I don't know what's supposed to be.
Is that what you said? Butt rest?
But how else would you say
buttressed? Buttressed.
What the fuck is that supposed?
You said butt rest.
It's butt rest. If your butt's rest, do some squat, bitch. Do some squats. What the fuck is butt stressed? Like, is it a gay shit? I don't understand.
My favorite. Now, buttress just means like to hold something up. If you might say, "Oh, I'm going to use this plank."
Squats.
This
so
plank
squats is the same thing
to buttress this wall, kind of thing. Teresa, my favorite. My favorite thing about this show is the discussion between Nico and Rob and guests, and the chats between the group gives you different views and things to think about, and not follow blindly. Great commentary. That's exactly what we're trying to do. Sometimes we're having a conversation and I'm watching down in that chat. You guys are off having something completely different, and that's cool. We love that. That's exactly what the show's about. But you're right. No one, we all have our takes, we all have our opinions, and we're going to say them, but no one's trying to force someone else to believe what they believe. No one thinks that the other person's a bad person or an idiot because they're not going to believe what they believe. And it's just a healthier way to debate. And the way that you described is exactly how we see it too, Truce.
Guys, if you're on X, make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to reshare this stream. If you want to be part of the conversation that you're seeing here, you got to go to our YouTube channel at the Poli Orphans. Once you're there, make sure to subscribe. And if you believe in what Rob is describing right now, what we're trying to accomplish here, to create a space where people who would normally never talk to each other because they disagree, if you want to create a space where you can have civil discourse, you want to support independent media, support us. $2.99 a month, cheaper than a Taj Mahal coffee, or what was it?
Taj Mahal.
No, there was another one that was great. Sing. No, you don't pronounce the GH, asshole.
No,
it's just sing.
Okay,
it's just sing.
Sorry, butt rest.
Nice. I will take this one, and just to say afterwards, I'll just show the first video. It'll be a quick one because I think we all saw that one coming. But Logan White is saying, I've criticized the fuck out of Pierre Poilievre for the past 2 elections. Most conservatives aren't even willing to do that. I'm right there with you. Like I have a couple of videos today from Pierre Poilievre. I just posted this morning about Pierre Poilievre's address on immigration yesterday. I'm like, weak fucking sauce once a fucking again. So yeah, he's just weak. He's just fucking weak. So I get it, but the rights don't talk to me anymore. Like, I know most of the big content creators out there, they don't want to talk to me anymore. They stop following me. They don't comment on my stuff anymore. They don't share my shit anymore since I changed about 4, 5, 6 months ago, whenever the fuck the last election was. So yeah, I got you.
Yeah. I mean, Logan continues here. He says, in my opinion, there are not enough people on the right that criticize Pierre Poilievre. I'm not on the right, but just from the observing it on the outside, that seems about right to me. And it's kind of stupid, because there are ways you can criticize your own side without like tearing them down. I think people get in this mindset, I can't criticize my guy because that gives ammunition to the, but it's stupid.
Oh, that's what people tell me all the time. Oh, it's because of guys like you that we lost the election.
That's stupid.
No, you lost the election because Pierre Poilievre's a bitch and he has no fucking backbone. Plain and fucking simple.
From Logan, milk toast is shit is a good word.
See, that's a word you could have asked me to say. You would have had fun hearing that one. But see, all right. Lee gets it. Butt rest. See, that's exactly. I saw butt rest. It's okay to rest your butt.
Yes, of course. Okay. Especially, yeah. That's right. Especially if you've been working it hard all weekend or something.
Or it's your Friday night, whatever. Just another Friday night a la Rob.
Yeah, that's right.
Shay Rob.
No, I'm gonna need a butt rest after this weekend.
Yeah, I get it. So let's start with the first subject. 45 minutes in.
Yeah, it reminds me of how it used to be back in the day, but it's all good.
No, but it's okay. It's a Friday. I don't normally worry too much about the structure as much on Friday. Yep. But I think it's going to be pretty fast, though. I have like 6 or 7 subjects, but
let's do it.
I just want to go through them.
Before we start, I am going to have to leave about 10 minutes early. My family's going out in the woods.
Are they really?
Well, we're going out to a lake to do some swimming.
You're gonna do so you're gonna do some illegal shit.
Mm-hmm.
What's the snitch? There's a snitch number.
That's exactly right.
Snitch on people. So what's the snitch number?
That's wild. Is there actually? I heard that, but I didn't know if it was true. They set up a snitch line to say, my neighbor's out fishing.
Do you not remember? Whoop whoop.
Yeah,
that's what happened. There was snitch lines where people were calling the cops on their neighbors because they had too many people in their fucking living. They had too many cars parked in the parking lot. So absolutely crazy.
That's right, Bumpy. I live in a van down by the river. I don't know if you remember that, but it was Chris Farley, classic Chris Farley.
I've never
motivational speaker. He was He was like, I'm a motivational speaker. I live in a van down by the river. That'll be me.
I've never got that guy. He's done some okay movies, but I've never understood why he was that big of a deal.
Chris Farley, he was. I think it's just because he was the high energy, which obviously was cocaine fueled.
He just looks like a fat Jim Carrey. I don't see really the difference between the two.
I never got him as like
skinny,
a super talented comedian. Same as Adam Sandler, and I actually like Adam Sandler, but I think I'm still stuck on Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison. Those two, I loved them when I saw them as a kid, and I've always had a soft spot for Adam Sandler. But a lot of his shit these days just sucks.
Yeah, his last one is absolutely horrendous.
The new Happy Gilmore?
Oh,
I haven't
so
seen
bad,
it yet,
so bad.
How do you fuck up Happy Gilmore, man? Like,
they made a second one. That's always what they do.
Yeah.
You fuck it up by doing a second one.
Well, I actually think the reason why he sucked so bad is because he was one of the first like people to get that Netflix deal where he just signed a deal and he owed them like seven or eight movies. Yeah. 8 movies. And then, so you're already paid for your movies. There's no incentive to make them good. You just churn out slop.
Did you? It's like Zoolander. Like the first one is probably top 5 favorite movies of all time. I fucking love that movie. That movie is fucking epic. Yep. They made a second one, and you're like, yeah, you shouldn't have done that.
Why did you do this? No. So yeah, Joe. I mean, that's if you talk about famous sequels or high quality sequels, clearly The Godfather. I can think of obviously Terminator 2.
Okay, bro, you have to go back like 40 years.
Yeah,
that kind of proves a point. Yeah, that kind of proves a point. Like I had hair back then. I looked like Joe. That's how far you have to go back.
But yeah. I can't think of it. Like, what's a good sequel that actually?
Rockies. I would say the fourth one's.
No, I would say of the last 20 years. I can't think of one of the last 20 years.
No, me neither.
I don't know.
No,
maybe Avatar, but no, that's.
I don't know. No, I don't know. Yeah.
Angry Canadian. 10 minutes ago, Global News says Nova Scotia snitch line flooded. Yeah, that was me. It's probably people flooding it, just as an act of civil disobedience.
There was I saw a great. He's right. Avengers. I gotta say that a lot of the Avengers.
Was that good?
You've never seen the Avengers?
No.
Oh, bro, the Avengers themselves are okay. Or some of them are better than others, obviously. But I like the what's his name? Chris Pratt. The Guardians of the Galaxy. The 3 of them are fucking epic. Epic. The 3 ones, I've seen them so many times. He has a good point. Fuck Dark Knight. That's true.
Okay. Fair point. Good point.
What's his name? He's my favorite Batman.
Bale?
No. The guy that plays what's his name? The guy that plays Batman actually in the Dark Knight, the last Batman. Not the last Batman. Bale? That's not true. No, Christian Bale. Christian Bale's my favorite. He's my favorite Batman. And I
think he grabs who I think of as Batman, that sort of dark vibe. I did like wasn't it Michael Keaton? Was that who it was?
But he was kind of
a gay Batman.
Yeah, exactly. He's not very tough, right? He should have played Robin. He would have made a great Robin. But Christian Bale, I agree with you. He's not too dark, not dark enough. He's not too big where he's just like 250 pounds of muscle. They did a good job.
Job. Yeah. Okay. Fair. I mean, Pam, Lord of the Rings, obviously, it's almost you can't even really put that. It's almost a thing on its own. And the other thing too is those movies were made on absolutely classic novels, right? So it's not like they made the sequel just as a money grab. There was actually a story to tell. The issue is most of these sequels are just a money grab.
Yeah. See, I've heard the sequel Blade Runner. Yeah, Blade Runner is actually not bad. The second one.
Yeah, so, you know what's funny? I've never seen any of them.
But I don't think those are they're not sequel. They're remakes.
Yeah,
right?
The remakes. Yeah, difference.
Christian Bale's been an actor his entire life. Empire of the Sun is well worth a watch. Oh, bro, that dude in The Mechanic.
Yeah,
the machinist. Yeah. Sorry, not the mechanic. The machinist.
Yeah. He almost killed himself for that, man.
God damn, he was eating something like an apple a day. He did that for months. Like it was fucking retarded what he had to do for that role.
Oh, that's right, Joe. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, but that is Anthony Hopkins right there. That Anthony Hopkins is a fucking great.
Those are good. I mean,
cannibal.
And even the ones that were made, even the ones that were made after, which is what Hannibal. One of them was called Hannibal. That was really good, really high quality. Red Dragon was okay, but you're right. I mean, but again, those are also based on books too, really high quality books. So I think in some ways, when it's a sequel based on a book and they have good material to work with, you can probably get away from it. I mean, Dune 2 as well was really good. I liked that. What
a pile of garbage!
You didn't like Dune?
Oh, it was terrible.
I don't know.
Even the first one is like
there was some woke stuff.
You're talking about you're talking about the remakes. I'm not talking about the new ones. I'm not dissing the originals here.
I'm
talking about the woke garbage that they.
There was definitely some woke garbage. The way that Channy was like you know, like didn't really like Paul and kind of acted like in the books she's his partner. She loves him, right? In the movies, it almost acts like she's like girl boss and I don't need a man, and I didn't like that. But the visuals were incredible. I mean, I love the books, so as a fan, I really like the visuals and stuff. But Bumpy says Denis Villeneuve's best movie is Prisoners with Hugh Jackman, Jake Gyllenhaal. That is an incredible movie.
I didn't find him to be that great. It's
okay. You know that movie?
Yeah. I'm probably the biggest movie buff you'll ever meet. I have a really big problems with movies. I watched them all. Villeneuve is actually from Montreal too.
Yeah.
If you want to see a movie, I'm pretty sure it's Villeneuve. It's one of his first movies before he made it to Hollywood, because that dude has made some of the biggest fucking movies on the planet. Like he's the one that did Dune, the two new Dune. It's him.
Yep.
Dune 3, Sicario was a great movie too.
Sicario was cool.
Prisoner, but I liked Arrival better than I did Prisoner.
Oh, did he do that as well? I really like that too. That was really
cool. You want, he did Blade Runner too. No, the dude is amazing. But if you exactly, this is the movie. It's because
is that with the woman who's raped?
I had to go check,
and it was her son or something.
I had to go check the name in English, because that's a French movie, right?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I saw it coming, but that movie
that was a wild twist.
Cool.
That was a wild
I like that movie,
twist.
Yeah. American Sniper, yeah, I like American Sniper too. There's
Joe,
but Villeneuve is okay. Like he's always in massive production movies.
Yeah. Joe says there's never been a good Dune adaptation. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it'd be very, very difficult to do so. Although I bet you they said that about Lord of the Rings, and obviously that adaptation, I think.
Yeah, but I think it's easier to do Lord of the Ring than it is to do Dune.
Yeah, Dune was. The thing I liked about Villeneuve's is just the visuals were really good, and when you're reading the book,
had to it. But that's all the movie had to for them is the visual effect, and it's not enough to carry series.
I think if you didn't read the book, you probably would be like meh. And they left so much out just because the book is so in depth, but it allows you to. I think what the visuals they did do, I think, fit with what I would have imagined as well. Just the worms, the Arrakis itself, how the Harkonnens looked. Bumpy says Clint Eastwood's entire filmography is very underrated. Mystic River's one. Yeah, that's right. What's the other one? Gran Torino. Also
$1 Million
really
Baby, in my opinion, is his best movie.
Great movies. Yeah.
I can relate. For some reason, $1 Million Baby, as someone that comes from a martial art background, I can relate to.
Yeah.
I can understand how bad he must have felt because she got that badly injured in a fight. Oh, that movie is great.
Yeah. All right.
Damn, we're an hour out.
We're
going
down rabbit holes in our rabbit holes.
But it's okay. It's for some reason I had a feeling that today's show would be like.
But Fridays are a little chill.
I fucking knew it. I absolutely knew it.
And I just Joe says, what's funny about Dune is our current technology is actually more advanced than the book describes. Yeah, because you remember in the book they describe
except for
the traveling. The time traveling or the space travel, of course.
Yeah.
But I always thought that was weird because the battles, it's like mostly hand-to-hand combat and stuff. But I think they explained it a little bit where there was like an AI war, before the book happened thousands of years ago, and they basically made any robots or AI illegal. So that's how they explain it, which is adds for a cool dimension, because you're right, it's very futuristic, but at the same time kind of primitive.
Yeah, he's done some pretty cool movies, Villeneuve. I'm just looking at his other movies that he's made. But Sicario was good. I really like that movie.
I thought that was really cool too. But I think I read somewhere who's the guy who wrote the book Dune? Frank Herbert. Hebert. I think I read somewhere he didn't even start writing that, which is obviously his life's work, until he was like 45 or something. So if you're out there and you're kind of figuring like, it's too late for me to do that thing that I want, it's probably not, unless you're like 70 or 80, and then you're fucked. But
the average man finds success in mid 40s to end of his life.
Yeah.
That having 20-year-olds be as successful as they are is extremely, extremely rare.
Yeah,
but
and they're the ones that we
man
see.
takes
They're the ones that we see, but
yeah, but average men take it's somewhere like mid 40s to their 50s that the average men really find success, because it takes time to just
to
figure
build
it
up,
out.
because all those you need many different skill sets, and some of them are not tangible, right? Some of them are not as simple as like going to university. Joe says the Butlerian Jihad. Yes, correct. That's the war where they outlawed AI and robots.
So are we good? Are we?
Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this.
Oh, hold on. One that is awesome that has nothing to do with this. It's Wind River. I don't know if you guys ever saw that.
I've never seen it. No. What's it like? What's it about?
Wind River. Hold on. Just make sure. I just want to make sure that that's the name, but it's a very under fucking rated movie.
Not Mystic River, is it?
No. Wind River. 2 words. Wind River. It's with Jeremy Reiner and Elizabeth Olsen.
You know, fucked up.
You know who Jeremy Reiner is, right?
Yeah, he got fucked up with a snow machine not long ago.
Yeah, I think that's the guy. They're basically it's up north somewhere like Wisconsin during the winter, and it's on a reserve on like the Jeremy Reiner is a hunter, like he helps kill dominant species like wolves that attack cows, that attack like how do you call them, farm animals. So he's always sent to hunt them down and kill them.
Okay.
And he's hunting mountain lions, and he finds a body, and it's the body of one of his friends. It's his daughter, and his daughter years ago died as well. They never found the body. So the whole movie is about what the fuck happened to that body. But it's very cool, very, very, very cool. Like it's raw. There's a lot of fucking violence in it, and it's just interesting. It's one of those movies that there's not a lot of movies like that one. I can't name another movie that's like that one, but it's nothing out of the ordinary. It's something that could actually happen, but it's just well done. It's just clever. It's just a very clever movie.
I'll check that out.
Oh fuck, No Country for Old Men. What a great fucking movie that is.
Angry Canadian says, duty calls, gotta go shake some babies. All hail the chat. Hey brother, we'll catch you on Monday. Give him a good shake.
Yeah,
but yes, No Country for Old Men. No Country for Old Men. Yes, absolutely. Great movie.
Tarantino movies, I'm a fan too.
Was that Javier Bardem?
Javier Bardem.
Yeah. Man, I didn't realize, like, that was the first time I was aware of him. The first movie I saw him, and I would have thought that he was just that kind of guy.
No.
But like, he's such a versatile actor. Like you see, he's in Dune. You know, like he can be anything. So yeah, I didn't realize he was a good actor from that role. I just thought they just got a guy who acted like that. But seeing him in his other roles, like he did so good in that role.
You know, I'll finish on that one. I don't know why I'm thinking about this movie, but I Care a Lot. If you guys have never seen that movie infuriates me.
Is that
newish? Yeah, 4 or 5 years, I would say.
Okay. What's it about?
I Care a Lot. It's about this woman. I cannot stand that woman. Like, I don't like that woman at all. She's a psychopath.
Rosamund Pike.
Yeah, like she's the one that was playing in Gone Baby Gone. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't like the type of roles that she plays. You know, she's been typecasted. No, it's not Gone Baby Gone. It's with Matt Affleck.
Gone Girl. Gone Girl.
Gone Girl. Yes, it's her. That movie destroyed her image for me. All of the movies that she played afterwards, she's always a psychopath of some type. And in that movie, she's just fucking crazy. But she takes advantage of elderly people. She basically, through a psychologist that she knows, she finds marks that are rich, that have money, that don't have families, or not a lot of families, and then she has her go to court saying that they need help, and she gets appointed by the court in order to take over their affairs. So she goes in, sells the house, liquidate, puts them in a home where they can access anybody, liquidate their asset, and then she spends it. That's her whole business. But the movie, she's a fucking psychopath. Like psychopath.
She plays it well. But you know what? It's funny when you said like, oh, it turned you off her in Gone Girl. That's my kind of crazy. I liked her in Gone Girl. Remember at the end when Ben Affleck like just ends up back with her? And
he doesn't have a choice. He doesn't have a choice.
He doesn't. Yeah. But I also got the vibe that he kind of liked it. For me, I'd be like, you are one psychotic bitch, and I've got the weirdest boner right now.
Screw that shit. I would have put her in a hole, bro. I don't deal with that
Yeah, oh
shit.
yeah.
No,
but
I've met people like her in real life, but guys and girls. There's no dealing with people like that, man.
well,
I
of
grew up
course,
with a guy. I grew up with a guy that would do shit like her, and you can't deal with somebody
yeah, I
like
know.
that.
If it was
You
real
can't
life,
deal.
I'm sure that it would freak me out.
Yeah, because
but
that's the type of person that's gonna wait for you in a bush when you're unlocking your door, and you're gonna end up getting stabbed. Yeah, you can't deal with people like that. Remove that from your life right from the get-go.
she's the kind of
Disappear.
girl
Oh
where you
yeah.
show up home from work 5 minutes late, and she's like, "Let me smell your dick."
Yeah. No, she'll cut it and smell it herself.
Yeah, she'll cut it off when you're sleeping.
That's not crazy enough. So okay, an hour. In 5 seconds, it's
All
gonna
right,
be an
let's try
hour.
this.
We
Let's
haven't
try
touched.
this.
Say 3, 2, 1, pow.
All
Okay,
right,
an
let's do
hour.
it. Boom.
We're trying. So, first topic: Israeli Security Cabinet approves to take full military control of Gaza City. So it looks like Israel's gonna invade Gaza. That's what it
Wow.
sounds like. So we're just gonna we're what the fuck did I walk into?
Yeah, Sylvie.
That's right, Sylvie.
Well, this is literally the first topic of the day because we've been talking about movies and
for an hour. Fuck.
yeah. But
So
it was a good chat if you want to go
I'll
back.
just play the first 30 seconds because I think we
Sure.
all get the idea here.
Israel's security cabinet has approved plans by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to take over Gaza City, spurring international condemnation as world leaders warn of the catastrophic humanitarian consequences of a full-scale Israeli military occupation. In response to Israel's intensifying military campaign, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz announced today Germany will suspend the export of military weapons to Israel that could be used in Gaza. The move stops short of a full arms embargo, but marks a significant shift in Germany's position. Meanwhile, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer called the decision wrong, adding, quote, "It will only lead to more bloodshed." UN Human Rights Chief Volker Turk urged for the plans to be immediately halted and that the move, quote, "runs contrary to the ruling of the International Court of Justice that Israel must bring its occupation to an end as soon as possible and to the right of Palestinians to self-determination," unquote. Israeli opposition leader Yair Lapid also condemned the decision to seize Gaza City, saying on social media, "This is a disaster which will lead to many more disasters, a disaster for generations to come," he said.
I chose this video. Like she goes on for like 15 minutes, but I like the way she speaks. Like she's very well articulated, the lady that was speaking. But yeah, we had to speak about it because I agree with Sylvie. That was probably the plan the whole way through. Like, well, I don't think this comes as a surprise to anybody that that's where we're at. But
yeah, and I don't know. I don't think it's good. I don't think they should do it. At the same time, I don't know what. Once October 7th happened, essentially the die was cast. Like there could be no two-state solution after that. And I don't know. I don't know what the other option is. I don't like. At the end of the day, it's completely reasonable to say this is wrong what Israel's doing. But if you're gonna do that, you got to give me what they should do. What give me an alternate solution to the issue. Like tell me what if not this, then what? And I would pay attention. I would listen. And if you make a good case, I would say sure. I mean, if there's anyone out there in the chat who give me an alternate scenario. I don't, and I'm just saying because we're talking about it because we have to. I don't really give a shit one way or the other. This isn't our issue. I don't. I think there's so much blame on both sides that I think it's really hard to make this into a moral case. So it's got to be then a practical case. Like, what's the most practical solution? You can't have like just an open wound festering in the form on the face of the earth in the form of just this endless war here. You also can't have 2 million people just living in rubble. There does have to be some solution. And if your solution is bring them to Canada, nah, bro, that ain't good.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, because that's what they're going for.
Oh, of course, it's already started. We were talking about it yesterday. Nico, not know Amy.
No, I didn't know her either.
No, her voice sounds very familiar, but man, I can barely remember the name of my wife, so you can't expect me to remember all the reporters out there. I just like the way she speaks, no matter what her opinion is. I just like the way she's very well articulated, And you can tell she's been around, not because she looks like she's 80, but just the way she speaks. You don't need to show me her face. I can tell you that woman has been around for a long time, because she fucking reads off the screen extraordinarily.
That's right. Prairie, and good to see you again, Prairie. You haven't been poking around quite as often. Says 2 wrongs won't make anything right. Great point, fair point. I guess what I would say is, at this point, we almost have to just forget what happened in the past, look at the reality on the ground right now, and come up with a practical solution based on that. And I'm open to whatever that is, but someone give me something. What else could there be? Here's Joe. The solution is declare all religion to be the mental illness that it is. Runs and hides. Yeah, Joe. I mean, we got Joe. This is Joe's thing. We got Pat Dodge. You always know Pat Dodge is gonna run in about fucking Alberta hates the rest of Canada. So these. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how that would solve the actual humanitarian crisis, but
it wouldn't.
It's very Joe.
But this is one of those that I don't even. Whatever, Joe.
Yeah. No, not forget that Israel completely destroyed Gaza, but just, okay, it exists. That happened. What do we do right now? I'm not saying forget about it. I'm saying it what relevance does it have to, I mean, just imagine you just woke up today and you saw the state of the facts on the ground. Of course Israel destroyed Gaza, but at some point they're going to be sick of people lobbing rockets in their country again and again and again. And, I have no doubt there's lots of innocent Palestinians who were harmed. But at the same time, if you go into a stronger country and murder 1,000+ people in a giant terrorist act, you don't really get to then back and say, oh, they destroyed Gaza. Fucking actions and consequences, man. This is the real world.
All I'm going to say about this is, hold on.
Yeah.
Stop clicking on it. Jesus.
Go ahead.
Sylvie's saying you just said forget what happened. Sylvie, all I'm going to say about this is it's not that I don't give a shit. It's just we have so much problems to deal with here. I'm just tired of our governments being involved in this shit. I don't think that we should be sending any money there. Doesn't matter that it's Israel. Doesn't matter that it's Gaza. Doesn't matter that it's fucking Ukraine. I'm tired of our taxpayers' money leaving Canada. And I'm tired of us getting involved in politics that have nothing to do with us. They've been at war for a lot longer that I've been alive. They'll still be at war way after I'm dead. So that shit never fucking ends. They're always fucking fighting. But the only thing I try to keep in mind is what one of my buddies told me years ago is, if I had to pick a country to go live in, it'd be Israel.
You mean in the Middle East? In
the Middle East? Where else? Where else the fuck could I go as a Christian and not be prosecuted? Right?
Yeah.
So that doesn't mean I condone what they're doing.
No,
but at the end of the day, I'm tired that we get bottled down by this shit when there's so much Canadians suffering here. And the solution, like you said, is not to bring them here. Although that's exactly what they're trying to do right now. Oh, no, but they've already, I talked about it yesterday, where they're already emitting, they're going to start emitting new special.
That'll be mistakes.
New special visas to get, I think they want to get 5,000 of them over here. So and Sylvie, so Sylvie says, you just said forget what happened. Yeah, I don't mean forget the shitty things Israel has done. I'm not talking about giving a pass to Israel. I'm saying just also forget the shitty things the Hamas has done. I'm just saying forget how we got here, because how we got here is how we got here. We are here now. Based on right now where we are, how do we get out of this? What's a good solution? I'm saying also, to the extent I'm saying, forget they level Gaza, I'm also saying forget October 7th as well. Israel can't keep hanging on to that either. Just ignore everything that's happened until now, or at least put it out of our minds for the moment, and figure out how the fuck we get out of here. And again, at the end of the day, at the very base, my take is the same as yours, Nico. It's just not our fight. It's not our battle. Yeah, 100%. And it's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do. Because for now, Israel is saying that they're going to take full military control of Gaza. Yeah. So that's going to be very, very fucking interesting, because this is not going to go well. I don't care how good they are at war. It ain't going to go well. for sure that it's gonna kill a shit ton more people. But at the same time, I don't know what the solution is.
Yeah.
I have no clue what you do in that part of the world, because there's never going to be a winner.
No,
they're all losers at the end of the day, not because they suck, just because they've lost so many on each side that it's never. I don't see that conflict ever fucking ending unless one of them is exterminated. Like that, as bad as this sound, I don't think this is ever going to end until one of the two party involved has disappeared. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's whatever the solution is, it's going to be messy and unpleasant. I don't. Yeah, again, I don't know. We're going to obviously discuss it because that's what we do. But at the end of the day,
I don't really have a solution.
Yeah, I just really don't really want Canada to get too involved one way or the other. Certainly not to the extent of taking in large numbers of Palestinians, because that would be a huge mistake.
And not sending our money there either.
Yep.
I just had to talk about it. Not that I really wanted to, but
it's good topic. It's actually it's huge news, really, if you follow that conflict at all.
Yeah. It's just we'll see what happens. I'll continue talking about it when it comes up, but it definitely is not a subject I like to approach. Just because there's no way for me to get it right, because there's no getting it right. Like both sides are to blame.
There's no solution that's going to feel good.
I just continue bringing it on because I want to continue reaffirming that I don't want to give our money there. I don't think we should bring them in either. We should stay away from that fucking conflict and let them deal with it. That's it.
Yep.
Pierre Poilievre, I think we're going to talk about him next. Sylvie's here, so that should make it interesting. Yep. Yesterday he was on a live just before we started the show yesterday. He was on a live, and there's no way I had time to listen to it, and I knew that people would break it down for me. So there's a bunch of stuff that supposedly he said. There's two things I want to talk about. First, I want to talk about his immigration comments, and then a bit later I want to talk about what he calls the Canadian Sovereignty Act that he's going to present when he's back in Ottawa, because obviously on the 18th he's going to get elected. I don't think anybody's lying to themselves thinking that Pierre Poilievre is not going to get fucking elected 10 days from now. Obviously he's going to get elected, or October 16th, 18th. I think.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, let's just once again, he had a great fucking opportunity to. You know what? I'll just play the video. You guys tell me, because I'm biased, obviously. Just that friend, the face that he makes right now is just, it proves my like I can't stand that face. But either way, I'm just gonna play this. I want to hear what the people in the comment section have to say. I want to know what you have to say, and then I'll share my opinion on it. But here's what Pierre Poilievre had to say on our immigration policies, and I want to remind you guys what Dr. Watley said a couple of weeks ago, that you cannot have both a welfare state and open borders at the same time.
Yep.
It's either or. So here is Pierre Poilievre and what he had to say about immigration.
Thanks for taking my question, Keen, with Juno News. I'd like to ask about immigration.
Yes.
Nigel Farage in the United Kingdom has been quite popular recently. He might even be prime minister if an election was held today, with his plan to deport illegal migrants across the channel. Donald Trump, same thing. He just launched a father-son recruitment campaign for ICE. It seems like the entire Western world, including the Liberals, have realized that out-of-control immigration is a problem, but Canada's the only country without a solution to fix it. And you don't have sovereignty without control of the borders. So I'm wondering what your plan is to fix it and get illegal migrants out of this country.
Thank you. Well, for anyone who has been deemed inadmissible needs to leave, and they need to be deported. Anyone who commits a crime while they're in Canada, they need to be immediately detained, and when their detention is complete, they need to be deported from the country. We need to track down the roughly 600 criminals that the Liberals have lost track of. That means using all our security agencies to find out where they are, to locate them, arrest them, put them on planes, get them out of Canada. We need to make it clear that anyone who commits a hate crime or an act of violence against an identifiable group that is not a citizen and not a permanent resident, needs to be deported from this country. We need to get rid of the incentives for people to come here that are not real refugees. So we need a review of all the benefits that go to people who come as asylum claimants to make sure they're not getting more benefits than Canadian taxpayers get. And those that arrive last should be their cases should be treated first, so that they know that they'll be leaving quickly. That will get the message back to the country of origin that if you come to Canada and you're not a real refugee, your case will be heard in a few weeks and you'll be back in your own country. That would, right now, there's the opposite incentive. People who are not real refugees come into Canada and they say, well, even if I'm rejected, I'll have 7 or 8 years of appeal, during which time they get all kinds of benefits. It was very clear that the benefits wouldn't be there, that they would be sent back within a couple of weeks. They wouldn't come in the first place. We need to secure our borders to stop the crossings. And more broadly on immigration, we need to bring way down the numbers of international students, of temporary foreign workers that are flooding our markets with low-wage labor. The big corporations love it because they can drive down wages for Canadian youth who are facing unprecedented unemployment. The temporary foreign worker program was not meant to drive down wages. It was meant to fill jobs that Canadians could not or would not do, particularly in agriculture. Now it's just become a full-purpose thing that Starbucks or anyone else can use to drive wages down. If they're having a hard time getting
it ain't Starbucks
working, what they need to do is raise wages. So we need to cut back on the temporary foreign worker program. And finally, the overall number needs to go down. Over the next several years, we actually need more people leaving than coming. That's net negative migration. And so that's what I've said. We've got these millions of people whose visas are going to come up. When their visas run out, they're not eligible to stay. They need to be told to leave. And if they don't leave, then obviously they need to be deported. And that will allow us our housing, healthcare, and jobs to catch up with the number of people in our country. Thank you.
Thanks for taking my.
So there you have it. That was Pierre Poilievre on immigration. What do you think?
I thought everything he said was great. I think it's exactly what needs to be said. The question is, does he mean it? Is this just like I like that he went into the weeds a little bit. He didn't just say it's too high or too low or whatever. He's explained why it's bad, why the issues are what they are. I like that he talked about the temporary foreign working program. As it sounds like he recognizes that it is driving down wages. He said he's recognized that what it's being used for today is not what it was designed for. Everything he said was right. The question is, does he actually believe it? Is he actually going to stick with that? And does this represent any shift in opinion? And frankly, I want to hear him say it every single day for the next 2 weeks or until that election.
So here's what he talked. There's a couple of things I think even Wise Guy touched on it. He said he lost me when he mentioned the word hate crime. I didn't like that either.
Oh, I didn't catch that part. What was it? Because that right away,
he's saying that there should be consequences for hate crimes. Like he alluded to that.
There's crimes. There's crimes. Crimes are crimes.
There's other things that he said. He said that the people that are not citizen or permanent resident that commits crime should be deported. I'm like, fuck no. Even again, too weak. I don't care that you're a citizen. The guy that wanted to bomb all the mosque, not the mosque, but the guy, how do you call Jewish temples? The guy that wanted to bomb all the synagogues / temples around Toronto wasn't born in Canada. He's from Afghanistan. Even though that he's a citizen, throw that fucking garbage out. Send him fucking packing. So I don't give a fuck that you're a citizen. If you're not born in Canada and you commit a crime, bye-bye. I'd like to
see citizenship easier to strip for sure.
It's already there. We talked about this. Like it's already part of it. They just don't do it. So again,
not only do they don't do it, and not to cut you off, but they're giving people lesser sentences so that they don't get it stripped, and that's fucking ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. He talks about refugees, so that I can agree with. That I don't think it's feasible though, because right now, by the research that I've done, the refugee claims are done within about 17 to 24 months on average. So it takes almost anywhere from a year and a half ish to 2 years and a half ish
like you said, he did say what it should be. What, a couple weeks?
2 weeks. It's just that it's not feasible.
I know,
if
but
right
at least
now,
he's talking it. At least he's talking about the right things.
Yeah, but that's bullshit. That's again, that's bullshit politicking, because it should just be no fucking refugee claims whatsoever.
Well, I mean, you can't.
Why not? Why not?
International law. I mean, there is like international law.
Don't care.
I get what you're saying. You're saying we should remove ourselves from the refugee.
100%.
I mean, okay, that's a fair take. Yeah. I don't necessarily agree with it, but it is a fair take.
Yeah, I don't care what we have to do it. It's just now I always keep in mind what Watley said. You cannot have a welfare state and open borders policy. You cannot. This is the problem with Canada right now, is that we are both, and it's not sustainable. And this is so he talks about refugees, which I understand what he's saying, but it's not feasible. It makes no sense. The government is not capable of doing anything within 2 weeks.
No.
Ain't fucking gonna happen.
No.
He talked about student visas, dropping it. Same thing as temporary foreign worker programs. I 100% agree. The student visa is never going to happen because the schools are just way too big. They bring in way too much money in order for him to have the power to do that. Temporary foreign worker program, obviously, that's something that should be fucking clamped all the way down, like zeroed. I don't see it happening. And net negative migration. That's about the only thing that he said in there that I actually agreed with, is net negative migration, that we should have more people leaving than people coming. I agree with that 1,000%. But the thing that bothered me, and I'm still, again, every time I post about this, I can see my follower count take a dip on Instagram every single time. But I basically said this about this exact video this morning. Pierre Poilievre addresses immigration, but fails to mention why strong immigration policies are crucial to our survival. Immigration affects every single social service we offer: healthcare, education, housing, and it needs to be considered in every single decision we make moving forward. A country cannot be a welfare state and have open borders. It can be one or the other, not both. It's time to address the real impact of immigration and put Canadian first. And I do not see one single politician that has the balls to address it for what it is. And it always drives me nuts that Pierre Poilievre doesn't, because he has nothing to lose.
He has nothing.
He has nothing. There's nothing he could say that would lose him this riding. Outside of showing up in naked, and even then they probably excuse him. Outside of doing what Mark Carney did and go to a pride event and start hugging naked dudes, there's nothing he can do that would cost him that by-election. Nothing. So I don't understand why especially him, doesn't have the balls to just say everything that we do. Immigration touches every single thing in Canada because of our social and welfare services. Well, plain and fucking simple, and it needs to be considered.
Everything you said in that tweet that you just read, that you wrote, that I didn't see anything that was like specifically right wing or conservative. That could have been written by a common sense liberal from the angle of we need to protect our social services, and that's why we can't have open borders. It's funny how common sense just sort of doesn't really have a label.
It's because I have the audacity to criticize Pierre Poilievre. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And again, that's always the problem. That's why I always see the same problem on the left and in the right. You cannot criticize your leaders.
And that's wrong. It's dumb.
Of course it is. Who else? If I'm a conservative, who the fuck am I going to criticize? The liberals, obviously. But obviously, I'm going to criticize the liberals.
It goes without saying.
But you need to criticize your own leaders, the people that are supposed to represent your interests. So what were you going to say?
Yeah, and I just want to take this Straight Canadian because he commented to me. So Straight Canadian says, Rob should be critical of the Liberals as he is of Pierre Poilievre. And he continues, as if there's still a question, the Liberals have run this country into the ground on every level for the past 10 years. Like, what don't people see? And I mean, I feel like you've been here long enough, Straight Canadian, that you should have heard. I routinely criticize Liberals and Carney. I think I've said everything you're saying here. The reason why our economy is in the shitter is because of insane and ridiculous liberal policies. And that's exactly why I, as a liberal, voted for Pierre Poilievre. I could not reward the last 10 years of liberal incompetence with a vote, because you can't incentivize that kind of horrific economic performance. And I've said many times why I like what specific policies the Liberals have done to drive our economy into the shitter. But yeah, make no mistake, Carney and the Liberals don't get a pass at all. We're just this specific story. We're talking about Poilievre, but yeah, I'm a Liberal, and I really wanted the Liberals to lose because they're going the wrong direction, and they're never going to course correct and get to the right place unless they fucking lose. And so yeah, I guess we'll have to hope on the next one.
And one of the things, if you want to put it back as comment, one of the things that, and this is my biggest problem with conservatives, is we're very good at blaming the Liberals for everything that happened, and we are in the shitter because of 10 years of terrible fucking policies from the Liberals. No fucking questions about it. Yep. But what have the conservative done?
Yeah.
That's the thing. As much as I dislike what the Liberals have turned our country into, can you really say that Pierre Poilievre is that much fucking different from the Liberals, considering that Carney was able to steal some of his policies right under his nose during the fucking election? I'm not even sure he had to rewrite them. He just said the same fucking thing, just with a red background, except instead of a blue. But this is the problem in Canada. We don't have a real conservative party. We don't have real conservatives at the head of the Conservative Party. So you know what? I'm just seeing that he just posted again. Was it rigged? Maybe.
I don't think it was. I don't think it was.
But maybe I as a conspiracy theorist, that's always something I'm gonna entertain. But the point of the matter is that he had all the power in the world to win that election in a landslide.
Yeah.
But everything that he did, just looking back at everything that he did, and we called him out, at least I called him out the whole way through, saying, why the fuck are you doing this? Why the fuck are you not doing that?
Why are you not speaking about this?
Like,
why are you
what the video that he just released now is 6 months too late. Not only is it not strong enough, but it's 6 months too fucking late. He should have been talking about this during the election months and months and months ago. But he didn't. He did not have the balls. And that's my biggest problem. That should have been, won. He should have been fucking drumming that
drum. Yeah. 100%. 100%. Straight Canadian says there was some weird stuff going on in the GTA. To be clear, when I say it wasn't rigged, I think Elections Canada probably has a slight liberal bias, and there was some things that they let slide, and it might have even won Liberals maybe 2 more seats than they would have, but I don't think the election would have changed. I think the country genuinely voted for Carney. There's all kinds of reasons why, and not many of them are good. But I think, I think it was legitimate in that way, but mostly because they were bamboozled, and Carney effectively used fear and anti-Trump message to essentially brainwash most of the Canadian electorate.
But he had the power to rectify all of this.
He did. He didn't change at all. He did not course correct whatsoever.
And again, however you feel about Trump in the U.S., when they switched Kamala Harris from Joe Biden, he adapted. His campaign completely changed. He started appearing all the conservative podcasts. He started being on. He was always fucking recording. And it's interesting because I follow both Mark Carney and Pierre Poilievre, right? The fact that I don't like them doesn't matter. I still follow them because they're two of the biggest influence in politics that we have in Canada. And what Pierre Poilievre started doing now, as in doing lives more, doing his little podcast episodes that he produces all the time, making videos like this, is something we've been talking about since we started this show 6 months ago.
Everything we've said, he started to do.
Yeah. And the thing is unlike Rob, I do believe that there was tampering in our elections. But at the same time,
I can see that. I don't think it changed.
But hold on. But I don't know, having spoken to so many people that voted for Carney, I don't know if it was enough. To me, it was an in-between. So the numbers that we saw, like a couple of millions off, not even, doesn't surprise me. It could have went either way. There's so many people that voted. I know of so many people that voted for Carney because they literally believed that he was the best man to deal with Trump. They strongly believe that. So I'm not surprised that Carney won. I'm more surprised in the way Pierre Poilievre lost.
Well, yeah, and you had the excuses all the time, right? Like, they said, the Carney blamed Trump and blah, blah, blah. Okay, but whatever. I mean, that's life. There's always going to be some unforeseen event that happens. And I think the Kamala Harris example used was a good one. Donald Trump, he was running against Joe Biden, but when Kamala Harris got put in, he then switched his strategy to run against Harris. Pierre Poilievre was running against Trudeau, and then when Carney got put in, he kept running against Trudeau, and he never made an adjustment.
And straight Canadian, the media have played a big part in swaying the minds of Canadians.
Absolutely.
But it is 100% Pierre Poilievre's fault for trying to convince people that would never vote for him in the first place. He's been invited on some of the biggest fucking podcasts on the planet, like the Patrick Bet-David of this world, the Joe Rogan of this world. And as per the numbers, and I know those numbers because I talk about this all the time, but something like 25 to 30% of Canadians above 18 watch at least one podcast a month. So that means that he had the power to influence, to reach those people daily if he wanted to. He has 1.4 million followers on his X alone. So he had all the power in the fucking world to go on different platforms, put the word out there. Just look at the way he changed his content. Now, if you go to Instagram, he posts similar posts to mine that I've been doing for years, where it's just a written post. He talks about something that's going on. So ever since he lost, so he's hired somebody. I think he really spoke. I know of at least one that got a call that I spoke to that got a call from Pierre Poilievre asking him what he could do. But he definitely looks like everything that he's doing now, we were saying 6 months ago that he should be doing that. Now he adapted, but it's too little too late. It's very hard for me to believe to this day that Pierre Poilievre lost that election without it being intentional. I don't understand how there's any way, knowing what I know, if I can understand those simple facts. He has people that he pays hundreds of thousands of dollars a year just to tell him what and what not to do. I cannot believe that it was not done on purpose to lose that election, that it's not part of the uniparty that we have in Canada, because how else would he have lost that? It blows my mind. I still cannot comprehend how you blow that big of a lead without ever adapting afterwards. At least if he would have tried to adapt, at least if he would have tried to remarket himself or rebrand himself to go after the people that would like Carney, but that weren't sure, because they're people like you, for example, that do I trust Carney? Do I reward them? But no, he didn't even try. So it's
no. You're right. He was a stiff. He made no course corrections, no effort, no nothing whatsoever. And the polls were clearly showing that things are changing. And I don't know if he just didn't believe the polls. I mean, I get your take that it was intentional. I understand the mindset of looking at that and being like, it had to be, because no one could be so stupid. But I do kind of take what Jeff said on yesterday. I actually didn't know it was an official law, but it's called Hanlon's razor, and it's essentially, don't never chalk up to malice what you could also chalk up to incompetence.
That's what Jeff was talking about yesterday, right?
Yeah, and I think it fits in this. And at the end of the day, this is again where we often have our disagreements, and is it intentional, is it not? And it's fine to have those disagreements. Those can be interesting. We do agree on the important thing, which is he fucked it up. He didn't, whether he meant to or not, he did not do. And if he had course corrected, I get the pressures he was under. I get how effective Carney's message was, and I get how difficult it must be to be running against a liberal when the media is going to be against you. But at least try. If he had made course corrections and it still didn't work out, I'd be a lot more forgiving today. But he just didn't give a shit. He didn't show any effort to change, and I just don't think that's solid leadership. Got a FedEx truck here, and
as Joe's saying, it's all WWE. Yeah, that's pretty much how
theater.
I see it. That's all I see it too. That's exactly how I see it. And we're the idiots that believe that it's real.
Now this here though, straight Canadian. This I got it. Like I said, I try not to think that our prime minister is intentionally fucking us in the ass. But when we saw this, this is the stuff that makes it so hard for me to hang on to that belief. I mean, if there's something that makes me think, okay, this motherfucker really is doing intentionally, it's that.
Yeah.
It's a bad policy. He shouldn't have done it. But if you're gonna do it, wait a fucking week. Wait a goddamn week. What was the harm?
I don't know, man. I really don't know, unless it was unless
maybe
it was
maybe
intentional.
it was right.
That's
And the other thing too is like the don't chalk up to malice what you can chalk up to incompetence. That assumes that the person's incompetent. And I think whatever you say about Carney, I don't think incompetence is necessarily the word that jumps out.
No, he's too clever. As much as I dislike the guy, he scares the shit out of me. But at the same time, he's not an idiot. I don't underestimate people because I don't like them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that would be a big mistake, I think.
Yes, 100%. Are we ready to move on?
Yep, let's go on.
There are, see, at least straight Canadian, we agree. We definitely agree on that one. They aren't stupid people at all. No.
Definitely.
No, I think it was, I think the word you were looking for is, what was it? What did I say earlier? Ass rest?
You said butt rest. We're all butt rested.
I think that's what you mean.
Yeah, bare ass, bent over the barrel. Some of us know it and some have not. Butt to rest. Give that butt a rest.
Give that butt a rest, Leah. Give that butt a rest.
Yeah, so I've got to go in about 10 to 15 because I got to take off a little bit early. So let's get into the next topic.
Well, you have a choice. We can talk about the fact that Canada, you know what? We'll do it quick. Canada has lost 41,800 jobs. Or no, sorry, 40,800 jobs over the month of July.
That's not good.
No, definitely not. And the unemployment rate is hitting basically 7%, which they say that this is the most amount of job loss since the lockdowns. So it ain't doing well. And obviously, if you look at year-over-year change in industry when it comes to July, you're talking agriculture, forestry, fishing, mining, quarrying, oil and gas, because it's basically all here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So wholesale trade, business, building, and other support services, but of course, other services. I like how they put other services. What the fuck does that mean? But except public administration, obviously they don't lose jobs.
Hey, Chris, how's it going, sir? Great to see you.
Hey, what's going on, Chris? What's going on, brother?
Chris? What are you up to?
So yeah, it's interesting that 40,800 job loss, and obviously they're going to start blaming Trump soon.
Well, of course. Well, you know, of course.
Of course they
are. They might even have a point, but the point is, stop fucking complaining about things that you have no control over. That's a loser's attitude.
The only reason it happened, you can't even fucking make a deal with Mexico. So you can blame Trump all you want, but Carney can't even. The president of Mexico doesn't even want to deal with Carney. So that should tell you a lot. But all to say that agriculture, forestry, fishing, and oil and gas are pretty much what's been hit by those jobs. I don't think it's fucking surprising to anyone. I would have been curious to see if other services has car industry in there, because that's another one that's going to be hit hard, right? Oil and gas makes sense, forestry makes sense, agriculture makes sense, but the other services they have to have somewhere in there the car manufacturers.
We got to start talking about the EV mandate real soon. Carney has to start talking about this. What is going on with that? Like, what are they thinking?
We should talk about it next week. There's supposedly that I wasn't able to find the actual letter this morning, but supposedly it leaked. So I was reading this morning that the letter exists, that Pierre Poilievre referred to it, but supposedly that remember the letter that the 5 CEOs, the 5 biggest, the CEOs of the 5 biggest companies in manufacturing in Canada, car manufacturing that is, said they had sent a letter to Carney saying you need to scrap the EV mandate. Supposedly that it's leaked, that it's available. So I wanted to talk about it, but I couldn't find it. So I'm going to do more research. But even Poilievre was talking about it yesterday.
Well, and you don't even need to hear from them. You just use your brain and see how, like, you can see how it will absolutely devastate the Canadian automotive industry when you mandate that all of our cars must be electric, and we don't really make any electric cars. So you're basically mandated that all your cars be foreign. What an insane economic policy.
The other thing I wanted to bring up, this is going to be super quick, but it's just to say that for the people out there that thought that he might have changed his tune since Bill C5. I'm talking obviously about Carney, and if you remember, Bill C5 is about the Building Canada Act, the act that is supposed to fast track all energy projects. I found a little clip here. I don't worry, I will not make you guys listen to 11 minutes of Mark Carney talking, but I wanted to find the clip where he talks about it. But I just wanted to put that out there, that Mark Carney yesterday has said once again that respecting the rights of Indigenous people is at the core of the Building Canada Act. So we didn't misunderstand him. He's saying it point blank right here.
To be clear, respecting the rights of Indigenous peoples is at the core of the Building Canada Act. It's embedded in the law itself. This law requires meaningful consultation with Indigenous peoples, both in the process of determining which projects are in the national interest and in the development of the conditions for each project. And also, to be clear, this is a meeting about discussing the overall approach. This is not the start of consultation, okay? Consultation is about specific projects, and then consultation is about how we're going to do those projects. So that is to come.
We got to have a meeting, discuss how we're going to have a meeting about the meeting that we're going to have a meeting.
But I wanted to show one single comment right here from a guy called Anton680X saying 5% should never make decisions for the other 95%.
No, and if he says, okay, like first of all, when he's like, to be clear, Indigenous people's rights are at the center of like the why. Why are they at the center? Yeah. We can consider them absolutely,
of course.
But to put them at the center, that's insane. No. That is utterly insane. And then he's like, oh well, the law says we have to. Okay, great, change the law then, because the law ain't working.
Yep. 100%. Before there's I'll show one more video before you leave. We'll call it a day afterwards. I didn't even watch it yet, but everybody on the conservative side are praising that video, so I figured I would watch with you guys because it's Pierre Poilievre again. I just wanted to show one thing because he is absolutely right. Straight Canadians saying our power grid won't take it. Yeah, the EV mandate, we do not have the power grid in Canada.
It's just so bad. It's such a bad idea in
just
every
the
way.
fact I think it's 30% from memory. Like it lose like our winters like will drop the efficiency of the batteries by like 30 to 40%. So already you can't go that far. In Canada, you're basically, what the fuck are you gonna do? So
yeah.
Let's watch this. Let's watch this together. I did not watch it on purpose so I could pop the popcorn. Friday afternoon, pop the popcorn already. But people keep on talking about this video like it's a big deal. It's Pierre Poilievre speaking about something called the Canadian Sovereignty Act that he wants to put forward once he's back in Ottawa. So I haven't watched this yet, but let's do this.
The concern proposal for
Why is it so low?
Act will take action immediately. In this fall, we will introduce a motion calling on the government to put forward this legislation. The Sovereignty Act will legalize pipeline and other major projects by repealing the anti-development law C-69. It will legalize shipping Canadian energy off the northwest coast of BC by repealing C-48. It will axe the industrial carbon tax, something the Europeans are doing, and given that our competitors in America...
This guy's watching our show, man. Everything we're saying on the show.
...to force our people and our industries to pay this tax. We will get rid of the oil and gas cap that kills jobs. We will get rid of the ban on plastics, the petrochemical industry that produces our plastics. The plastics themselves are essential, and so are the jobs that go along with it. This, by the way, this plastics ban is not about, it's just saving your straw. It's about saving you about $400 or $500 a year in food that would otherwise go bad because it would not have plastic to preserve it. And we have a wonderful Alberta-based petrochemical sector that contributes to plastics that we need to protect. We'll get rid of liberal censorship laws that prevent our energy companies from talking about their incredible achievements and their environmental stewardship. We will legalize into the future your right to drive a gas or diesel-powered truck or car by repealing the liberal EV mandate. That all of this will be in one bill.
Wow.
So,
wow.
So basically, he wants to repeal, like they have a really good explanation here. So repeal Bill C-69, couldn't agree more. tax, industrial carbon
And
tax,
literally
obviously.
everything. Those are the things we've been hammering on the show for months.
Yeah, the only thing they're missing there is the EV mandates, because he talked about it. He wants to repeal it. So repeal oil and gas cap, ban on plastic, liberal censorship laws, and eliminate. I don't know where that was in there. I did not hear him talk about this.
I can't see it.
They repeal liberal censorship laws. I didn't hear him
yeah,
talk about this.
he was talking about. Remember, the oil and gas companies aren't allowed to talk about the things they do for the environment. Which I didn't know that. I didn't know that, but that's stupid. Yeah, no, he wasn't talking about hate crime stuff. But everything he's saying there, I can get behind.
That's about the first video in a very long time that I've seen from Pierre Poilievre, where I'm like, you know what, you could have gone harder, but I'll give you a pass on that one, because everything on there is bang on. But there's something, and this is why it never ends with me, is that he is a believer in the Paris Accord. So that is something that you can't really be part of that and continue doing what he's talking
I agree with you, but I'd like to hear someone ask him. Like, obviously he's had a change of heart on some of these issues, and I know you've been hammering him pretty hard, like super hard, for a long time, and that's been deserved for the most part. But I personally, some people might call it a flip-flop. I'm okay with a politician changing to say, you know what, maybe I supported the wrong thing, but now I support this. I don't even care if he personally believes it. All I care is that he's going to do it. Now, when it comes to the Paris Accord, yes, I know he's voiced support for it, but if he's saying all those things, to me, it sounds like he's now not in support of the Paris Accord. But it's absolutely imperative that someone ask him. I hope a journalist asks him, do you now support the Paris Accord? So at the end of the day, it's a step in the right direction. Somebody is speaking the things that need to be said. And I am going to be cautiously optimistic that he can continue. Like, we all know he's a politician, right? But I also think a lot of these things that he's talking about, that we've been talking about on the show, are actually popular positions. So even if he doesn't believe any of it, but he's just done a bunch of polling and he knows that this is what the public wants, that's fine. I don't care what his personal beliefs are if this is now his new positions.
We'll see. But once again, too little, too late. He should have been drumming that shit for a long time already.
I agree.
And this is always, but it's always going to be my same complaint when it comes to him, is he cannot. I've been told so many times from people that are part of his campaign behind the scene that, if you saw him in real life, or if you met him, if you spoke to him, you'd understand that he stands for all the same thing as you do. Okay, but you're a leader. You should have the balls to say so. And now he's in a very safe riding. So that's why he's saying those things. As much as I really agree with what he said in there, he doesn't have the power to introduce a bill. It's going to get shut down. They have
that's right.
So at the end of the day, I get it, but he should have been talking. I wish he would have had the balls to be talking about this 5 months, 6 months ago.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's a fair criticism. And I think there's space to make that criticism, as well as say, okay, now you're at least sounding like you're on the right track. Let's see where this goes. Keep it fucking going, because clearly I'm not going to just take a face value like, oh, he said this, now I'm fully on board. Jenny Burns had the wrong moves, and Pierre trusted her. Didn't he used to date her or something? That seems like too close of a relationship. I don't know what's going on there, but if you have a personal friend who's leading you down the wrong path, then you get rid of them.
The problem, Leah, is that any leader, it always falls down on the leader. If you have an employee that's working for you that is doing all the wrong things, but you continue to have her on your staff, it's your fault. It's your fault.
Yeah.
There's nobody else to blame than the leader.
Right?
He's the leader. He needs to take it on the chin. Yep. But I see what you're saying, but he could have easily got rid of her, find somebody else to do it.
Yep.
Squirrel Nuts is saying, who actually reads things like the Paris Accord agreement fully? Why do they sign into things with just a, you know what? We read full fucking bills here. Yeah. So this is the thing. I get what you're saying, but that's the problem. If this fucking jackass here can read bills that are 140, 150, 200 pages long, our politicians should not only read it, but have it printed a bunch of time with fucking markers, with question marks, like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is that? They have all the teams in the world to do research for them. I don't have anybody else doing research for me. This is the only fucking bozo right here. So I get what you're saying, but goddamn, our politician needs to read what the fuck they're signing. Come on, they work for us, not the other way around.
100%, 100%. Tree says, words are just words. Show me the action. Yeah, that's a great point. That's how I feel. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, look, Pierre's got it and he's got it from now on. Like, I'm saying we still need to hold him accountable. I'm just saying this is a step in the right direction. It's nice to hear someone saying the things that we've been saying for months. And it sounds like whoever has his ear now actually knows what they're talking about. Maybe it's us. But you're right. At the end of the day, anybody can say anything. That doesn't mean fuck all. We've got to keep on him and see if he keeps saying these things again and again and again and again.
Agreed. We'll see. But again, he doesn't have anything to lose.
No.
As we speak right now. Want to call it a day?
Yeah, Joe, we must pass the bill in order to see what's
yeah, exactly. Once you signed on it, we will show you what the bill is all about.
All right, guys, we are going to put a pin in that right now. I'm on my way to get a $25,000 fine for
bring a camera with you.
Yeah, being in the woods. I might have to come back Monday and promote my OnlyFans to raise some money to pay my fine. So
I'm sure there's a bunch of homos out there. They're going to give you the money.
Yeah. They'll be all about it. Guys, thank you.
Hold on. You know, I did a bartender classes years ago before I went back to school. And you know what the guy told me at the end? He's like, a guy like you need to work in a gay club. You'll make a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
So there you go. OnlyFans, motherfucker. Better be ready for the homos.
Yeah, exactly. Michelle DeVoe, who's the liar on the politics, the dice or the cards? I just wanted to just take that, Michelle, because I seen you popped in earlier and I didn't get to.
Both.
They're both.
Both.
Really, stay away from the cabin in the woods, Rob. Stranger Dead. Yeah, if there's a guy playing a banjo,
missing a couple of toots.
Yeah, I'll be.
They're not even teats; they're toots. Yeah, they're toots.
I just could have been anywhere in the world today. You chose to be here with us, and we appreciate you for that. If you want to support the show, please remember to, first of all, like and share the stream. That's the easy, low-hanging fruit we can all do. If you really want to support the show and you agree, you like what Nico and I are doing, you want to be part of this community, please consider becoming a member for the price of $2.99 a month, and that's probably the best way you can support us. Remember, we are going to have Jeff, is it Zeleny?
What the fuck are you fucking smoking? Jeff Evely.
Jeff Evely as our regular Wednesday guest from now on. He came on yesterday, and I think the response was really good. We all had a good time. So make sure to.
We're also going to have Chris Fleury next week on Tuesday. Chris Fleury. He's the lawyer for one of the lawyers for the Justice Center for Constitutional
Freedom. Jeff Evely's.
He's Jeff Evely's lawyer, as well as a man called Evan Blackman, who had his bank account frozen for participating in the Freedom Convoy protest. That's why he's going to be on the show, because his case is back in front of the government because they're appealing it. So, yep.
Excellent. Remember to be safe this weekend. Have some fun. Get out there. Stay out of the woods if you're in Nova Scotia, which is exactly what I'm going to do now. Other than that, folks, we will catch you on Monday. Same time, same place, as always. Keep her easy.